Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie and we're going to be going over some sci-fi recommendations. I have 8 sci-fi books that I've read that I would like to go over and recommend for you to read. I don't like recommending books that I haven't read before, and I'm not going to recommend a book that I didn't like. So here we go. The first book on this list is The Martian by Andy Weir. This is about a man getting stuck on Mars and kind of his journey to trying to get back home, and everything that he has to go through to do that. One of the things that I kind of remember from the book is the potatoes. Once you read the book, you'll understand why I probably remember potatoes the most. But The Martian was a very good book. And it wasn't just from the perspective of the man that got stuck on Mars. It's also got the perspective of his shipmates and Earth as well. So, very good book. Next, I have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, same author. This is about a man that wakes up with no memory, and he is in what looks like a spaceship or a space station, and he needs to find a way to get his memories back and also find a way to get home. And it's basically him figuring all that out and meeting an interesting friend along the way, which I think the interesting friend to me made the book. So another good book to read is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Next is To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I think this is his first foray into sci-fi. He wrote Aragon, which is a young adult fantasy series. This is about a woman that somehow contracts an alien parasite, I want to say, and what she goes through in learning how to live with this parasite, not only with herself but with others around her. That's all I really remember about that book. It was a good book. I think I gave it 3.5 to 4 stars. I know there's a lot of controversy around it, but I enjoyed it. Then we have Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. And this is about a thief, a woman thief, that goes to steal something. She's not really sure what it is, but when she does, for some reason people come after her to want to kill her and get whatever it is she has. And she has to figure out how to use this artifact to kind of save herself and some other people that she knows. The magic in this system, I know it's a sci-fi, but it kind of has, it reminds, how do I put this? It's got magic in it to me, but it is probably more mathematical than magic, and the system is called scribbing. It's a very interesting system. I highly recommend this book. It was a great book, and it is a finished series. So there's actually a trilogy. There's the Foundry Side, Shorefall, and Locklands, all by Robert Jackson Bennett. Great series. Next we have Velocity Weapon by Megan E. O'Keefe. This is also a finished trilogy. I couldn't tell you the other 2 books' names, but it is a good series. It's a really good series. It has to do with artificial intelligence. The ship has artificial intelligence, and somehow this woman that was part of a space battle gets saved by this ship that has artificial intelligence. And initially he wants to kind of keep her unaware of what's outside of the ship and kind of keep her to himself, because I think he's lonely and he's very young. And it's pretty much how they get along, the first book anyways, how they get along together, and her realizing what's going on in the outside world that he's kind of been keeping away from her, and meeting one other person that the ship has saved. It's a really good book. I recommend it. Next is Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. This is the first book in the Expanse series. I have not read the whole series. I've heard great things about the series from a friend and coworker of mine who has read the whole series. I've only read up to book 4. But what I have read is very interesting. It's a very big world. They call it the Expanse for a reason. It starts out small, and then it grows, and then it grows, and then it grows, and then it grows, and it goes to different areas. It doesn't just stick with, it sticks with the same crew, but different situational settings for that crew. In the first book, let me see if I can remember the first book specifically. It's been a while. There's a mysterious death, or a mysterious ship where there are mysterious deaths, and they have to try to figure out, when they go to help it, the ship that they were on gets blown up for some reason, and they are trying to figure out why that happened and who did it and what they're trying to hide because of the ship that they found and what they found on the ship. It's a very great series and would definitely recommend you reading it. Next, we have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This is a very interesting book. It's about a woman that commits suicide and finds herself in a library. And in this library, she can choose to do different things with her life, just one choice. And so she could be like, okay, well, what would have happened if my cat hadn't have died, or something like that, and where her life would have gone in that timeline. But it was a very interesting book. It was very interesting how they went about the different timelines that she chose to look at, and what happened in those timelines, and then what happened in general at the end of the book. It's very interesting. And then the last one is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. It's also called the Murderbot Diaries. And I don't know for sure if it's a finished series or if the author's going to keep writing in this series. But as of right now, I think there are 4 novellas in one book. And this is about I don't know if I want to say they're kind of cyborgish, because they're both robotic and organic, but they weren't born, I don't think. I think they were made. And it's about them kind of finding their humanity and learning to live amongst humans, and gaining friendships while also going on adventures. This happens to be, I think, my best friend's most favorite sci-fi series that she's read. She rereads it at least once a year. So it's a very good series. I've only read the first 4 novellas. I have not read the book yet, but it is on my list of books to read. I do want to read it. I've given all these books, I think, either 4 or 5 stars. And those are my sci-fi recommendations. If I had to pick a favorite, I don't know if I would be able to I don't know if I'd be able to pick out of 3, which of the 3 would be my favorite. And that would be between Foundry Side, Velocity Weapon, and All Systems Red. Those would be my top 3 sci-fi recommendations. After that would definitely be a very firm Project Hail Mary. And then The Martian, and then Leviathan Wakes. Then To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, and then The Midnight Library. So that's kind of how I'm ranking them. But just because I like certain ones more than others doesn't mean that you won't like different ones. You may find that you like The Midnight Library the best out of all of these recommendations. I don't know. Totally up to your reading taste. If you have any sci-fi recommendations, put them in the comments below. I am more than happy to read sci-fi books. As of right now, let's see. Do I have any sci-fi books to read right now? I think I have 1. No, I have 2. I have 2 sci-fi books on my TBR. And that is No Fit Gloss by Essa Hansen. And The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind. Let's see, who is that by? Jackson Ford, I think, is who that's by. So I could definitely use some more sci-fi recommendations. If you like this video, hit like, and if you want to see more content by me, hit subscribe.